Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing sweet. Hope everybody's being kind. Hope everybody's happy. Do I have some stuff to share with you? I'm going to have to ask you guys to refer to my previous video on Binaural Beats, okay? Binaural Beats and the Monroe Institute. I can't really put it in the thing here, but if you go to the BiomedRx TV channel, you can see. I'm going to do a sound check, make sure everything is fine over here. I'm just getting back into the office from Beverly Hills. And, ready to toss up a little game with you guys on what's happening. All right. 342 viewers game. All right. So, looking good, looking good. All right. 342 views. Nice. Okay, so thank you guys for joining. I'm going to share this a couple of people, see if we can't get it out, get the likes up. All right. So many people who know me know that I am going through what is called the gateway experience, using the audio files of Binaural Beats, created by Mr. Bob Monroe and the Monroe Institute, and it's a very profound experience. I highly recommend the gateway experience. This is not voodoo or hoodoo. This is not spirituality. This is science. This is science, and it's the merger of all things scientific and spirituality, okay? It is the answer to a lot of the questions about life and about existence, about what we are, what it means to be human, what awaits us after we die. There are a lot of things here that you discover. I think the most important thing that I'm discovering is that, and I do mean discovering because I've spent many years committed to the philosophy of rational objectivism. When I say discovering, I mean discovering. I'm discovering that the acquisition of knowledge does not necessarily come from reading books and talking to people and observing the outside world, observing reality. That our brain is, in fact, an antenna, a conduit to tap into a resource of ultimate knowledge. This is a very heartwarming discovery or recovery for me, because I grew up with faith in the divine inspiration of the Bible. And I still have faith in the divine inspiration of the Bible. And now, as an individual, I have learned, and I am learning through taking the gateway experience, that my mind, my own mind, can as well be a conduit for divine inspiration. And I love that. So I have not yet accomplished an out-of-body experience. I have not turned around and seen my body from the outside as of yet. Okay, but I do intend on continuing with this experiment until such time as I can have success in achieving an out-of-body experience. I am going to continue to try for an out-of-body experience. But, like I said, falling short of the out-of-body experience, the gateway experience is classic. It is classic. Number one, it is something that I recommend for all human beings. If you would like to participate in the Gateway experience, please contact the Monroe Institute. You can find their channel here on YouTube. Okay, the Moreau Institute, and they also have representation in Facebook, and they have representation everywhere. And because the document that you see here next to me, right here, is from the Central Intelligence Agency, Department of the Army, the military intelligence, because this document is from the CIA, it came from a pretty skeptical perspective. It is from the outside, even though the original work that was done by Bob Monroe was done for the government. This particular essay, I guess you could say, or brief, was prepared by a lieutenant colonel who was tasked, okay, with the by the commander, U.S. Army Operational Group, okay. And I'm going to read a little bit, but I'm not going to read it all because I've already gone through all of this, and I have to ask you so that I don't continue to bore everyone. In addition to looking at the previous video that I have on this channel, on the BiomedRx channel of Binaural Beats, I would ask you to please look at the Devin Lockett channels, the 3 Devin Lockett channels, because on those channels I've done a lot of explanation about what's going on. Now I'm going to be chronicling my experience with the gateway experience, and I'm going to be talking about this every day. I'm going to be letting you guys know what I'm going through. Like I said twice now, I have yet to experience an out-of-body experience, but the amount of spiritual evolution, character development, and the bomb of wisdom that drops onto your head, that drops into your consciousness as a result of indulging in these heightened frequencies and the frequency cocktails that the Monroe Institute has put together for us, is all I can say is it's an expansion of consciousness, and it brings you into touch with who you are as a human being and what it means to be a human being, and it brings you back into a place of well-being and contentment within oneself, and well-being with the universe. And it is so profound of an event that takes place just from listening to sound. Now you can go to any of the other channels here on YouTube, and you'll find a lot of channels with binaural beats. There are binaural beats that can imitate the effects of any drug that you might want to take. There are binaural beats that imitate a number of things, right? So it is definitely understood that you can alter your mind states using sound, using binaural beats, right? That's already been understood. And like I said, in my previous videos on the other channels, on the Devin Lockett channels, I talk about the other things that are happening here. What I'm showing you here, I'm going to be going over all of this. This is my first video of the series for this channel. So I'm just going to give you guys a short glimpse of what I'm going through. I'm going to go over everything that the commander, the lieutenant colonel sent to the commander, and with respect to his examination. I have to check my door for clients, excuse me. Sorry about that. It was my neighbor. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes. Not only am I going to be talking about the findings of this kernel, and you can see them here, and I'm going slowly so that if you want, you can pause this video later on and read it back to yourself. But I am going to read this entire document to you. Okay, and I'm going to go over it. It's going to be very long, all right? I'm going to go over this entire document. Okay, talking about the different areas of the brain, different areas of the mind. All right. And this is very powerful work. I'm just letting you know, okay? He's got illustrations and everything. He's talking about the consciousness matrix, This ties in the philosophies of all religions without contradiction, and it ties in the philosophies of the sciences of hypnotherapy, of hypnotherapy, telekinesis. It's incredible. It's incredible. And anyway, we're going to go over all of this. We're going to go over all of this because I'm going to give you a little bit of background, a little bit of feedback as far as how I am experiencing it, right? What's happening with me? What's happening in my subjective experience here? Okay. And then I'm going to go over this document, which is the manual, the complete manual, the Gateway Experience Manual, right? From the Monroe Institute. Now, of course, because of copyright, I'm not going to read the entire thing to you, but I am going to point out the different things that I have experienced, my own point of view, right? With regard to the concepts that are explained here and the things that are happening here. Okay, so thank you for joining me, everybody. I'm gonna pop out the chat here, and I'm gonna put the chat into my chat box so that you can see me. Okay, and my son Kai Kai is also experiencing the Gateway experience with me. Like I said, in order to get you even to the point of enjoying an out-of-body experience, you have to expand your consciousness so much that just the expansion of consciousness is going to really, 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 really give you a profound improvement in the quality of life. Okay, and I have no reason to sell this to you because I'm not an agent for the Monroe Institute. I'm just an honest man, and the truth is the truth, and I am here to broadcast the truth. I am here to share the truth with you guys. Okay? So get those likes up, get those shares up, get those comments up, dislikes, I don't care, it's all engagement. Get it all up. And let's try to get some people in the room here, okay? Let's see. Let's see. All right, so we're going to be talking about we're going to be talking about the gateway affirmation, the gateway experience, all right? Let me see if I can help get some more people in here while we're talking about this. Oh, I didn't know you guys were in Texas. All right. Yes. Yes. Give me a minute here while we get some people coming up. Yes. I just got to send this message out so that it gets to the people that we need in our group, okay? All right. So basically, what would you want to call this? The out-of-body experience, right? Is basically the kind of experience that we go through, basically when we leave our body. And, or when people experience a near-death experience. Some people say, okay, a near-death experience, right? Is what they go through, right? Let's see. You guys have to excuse me. I'm drop block here. There we go. And then the video URL. I just got to get this video out to people. You know what I mean? Yes. 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 Say something in the chat. I'm giving people a chance to come in, so don't feel bad, people. All right. right. Beautiful. All right. So I think that'll do it. This is just a simple out-of-body experience video email to go out to my 13,000 people. And I'm going to see how many people I can get to click and watch this video while we are on live. Okay. I'm going to say BiomedRx TV. Use for our image for this out-of-body experience. I guess I'll use my girl. Insert. Twitter. And Instagram. Yes, so hang in there, people. We're going to be going live. I'm going to be sharing this as soon as I get this message off, okay? As soon as I get this message off. Yes, now. Now, back to the video. Guys, I really appreciate your interest in the out-of-body experience, and I want to talk about this. What we have here is the gateway affirmation, right? I am more than my physical body, right? Because I am more is the gateway affirmation, right? I am because I am more than physical matter. I can perceive that which is greater than the physical world. Therefore, I deeply desire to expand, to experience, to know, to understand, to control, to use such greater energies and energy systems as may be beneficial and constructive to me and to those who follow me. I deeply desire the help and cooperation, the assistance, the understanding of those individuals whose wisdom, development, and experience are equal to or greater than my own. I ask their guidance and protection from any influence or any source that might provide me with less than my stated desires. In other words, there are good spirits and bad spirits everywhere, right? Now, that's just a gateway affirmation, okay? This affirmation has evolved over time. It may be slightly different from the way it's presented here. Both versions will help make the most of your experiences. It is the intent rather than the words themselves that is important, all right? But I'm trying to find a particular excerpt here that is dealing with the bubble, the consciousness bubble that you experience. I'm not going to keep you guys too long, okay? I've been on this video for a while. I'm not going to keep you guys too long, but I want to talk about the bubble that you get of consciousness, right? There we go. The sound pattern you will hear in these tapes is a scientific process that helps you develop and absorb these gateway states of consciousness. It is not hypnosis, although some of the techniques seem similar. The gateway forms of consciousness show significantly different EEG brainwave patterns from those of hypnosis subjects. At present, there is controversy as to what such patterns truly mean and how to categorize them. What can you expect from the gateway experience? As much or as little as you put into it. These exercises provide you with a set of tools. How you use them and what you do with them is your responsibility. Some discover themselves for the first time and thus live more completely, more constructively. I can tell you that I feel a little bit of that coming on the more I listen to these tapes, and it's only been a couple of days for me. Others reach levels of awareness so profound that only one such experience is enough for a lifetime. Still others become seekers after truth and add on an ongoing adventure to their daily activities. There is one basic premise that you seriously consider the gateway affirmation, at least the possibility that you are more than your physical body, and that you can and do exist in energy systems that are not limited to time, space, that you can and do communicate with intelligence beyond your physical consciousness. Call it what you will. Welcome, brain power. The benefits of hemispheric synchronization. I'm not going to go over all of this right now because all of this has been read. I've read through all of this on previous videos, so you're going to have to go to find the Devin Lockett channels and find that information. But I do want to trust it applied in many ways. Hemisync for better sleep, attention. Yes, the gateway experience is very good for sleep. Dedicated to exploration and development of human consciousness through a system of exercises using Hemisync. These exercises assist you to know and better understand your total self. This is true. They are designed so you may learn and experience profound areas of expanded awareness. This is absolutely true. It's very hard to explain, okay? When I talk about neurofeedback, it's very difficult to explain the cognitive function benefits that you get from doing neurofeedback, from doing long and repeated sessions of neurofeedback. However, it is real, and you do get a very good and profound. Well, first let's discuss neurofeedback and its effects. With neurofeedback, you get more focus, more clarity, better sleep. You definitely get rid of cravings and addictions. You definitely get rid of dysregulation in the neocortex. You have more focus, more stamina. You're better able to concentrate. You have better access to your creativity. You have basically all that you need to function. Now, this is the working of the hardware. So that's like taking your brain's energy and giving it a tune-up, changing the oil, setting the timing, changing all of your filters, and all of that other tune-up stuff. The gateway experience is adding horsepower to the engine, right? It's so difficult to explain these concepts because they're all subjective experiences. It was difficult enough to explain neurofeedback, but once I explain neurofeedback, it's a whole different challenge to explain the expansion of consciousness in contrast to neurofeedback, okay? But it is something that you have to experience, all right? It's something that you have to go through and you have to experience. You guys have to forgive me, I'm using my Devin Lockett overlay for this video. This is definitely a BiomedRx video, and you know that, BiomedRx TV video, okay? Yeah, the gateway experience is very powerful, and we are very fortunate to be able to sandwich the gateway experience with neurofeedback, audiovisual brain entrainment, and cranial electrotherapy stimulation, and the other therapies that we do here at the BiomedRx Health Center. It has taken me a while to train my own brain to become, to provoke a permanent shift into the high gamma range, which is where I've done over the past 2 years. And being at 50 hertz is a good launching point to go off into the work done on the Monroe Institute, found on these tapes, found on these audio files. Okay? So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing to do. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, as my man would say, Mr. Rogers. And this is a very, very powerful technology. Okay? As are all gateway programs, the gateway experience is dedicated to exploration and development of human consciousness through a series of exercises using Hemisync. These exercises assist you to know and better understand your total self. They are designed so that you may lead and experience profound areas of expanded awareness. This is happening to me right now. Each exercise requires active concentration, volition, and sometimes courage as you move by carefully controlled steps from deep relaxation to those thresholds of consciousness apparently related to deep meditation. These thresholds become gateways into different forms of perception, states of expanded awareness of freedom. The tapes also provide a structured environment in which you create your own experiences, your own adventures. States of expanded awareness of freedom. Yes, you do feel that. It's incredible. It's incredible, right? And especially for someone like me, who is an empath, and highly sensitive to these things, and also susceptible to abuse from narcissists, right? And gaslighting. So this is definitely a cure to get rid of gaslighting. Many who use the gateway experience or participate in the Institute's programs are in search of the out-of-body experience. This is not surprising considering the widespread dissemination of Mr. Monroe's books and the extensive media coverage of our work in this area. One of the Institute's early goals was to develop and provide a training system in this technique. However, as more sophisticated methods of exploration were developed, it became evident that participants were entering distinct and separate, non-ordinary states of consciousness. These states facilitate a great deal more than the out-of-body experience. Each individual approaches this internal work with different abilities, concepts, and dynamic processes. Each enters this area from a different place and goes to a different place. The Institute's goal is to provide techniques for exploring your full potential and for traveling, rather than provide a destination. In a broad sense, the research has led to a point where the out-of-body experience is far overshadowed by the development of human potential on all levels. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. This is why I'm so glad that my son is laying down listening to the first tape right now. In addition, the Hemisync audio stimulus is not overpowering and can easily be rejected if it is not in agreement with your conscious or unconscious desires. For these reasons, the Monroe Institute does not guarantee an out-of-body experience. However, gateways are provided into various levels of awareness. Gateway entry. Begin now. Begin where you are with an easy acceptance of who you are. To explore is to observe by discerning differences rather than by making judgments. Assume that the Hemisync audio techniques presented by the Monroe Institute will create different brainwave patterns. and there are various ways to perceive these differences within yourself. One method of perception is to feel differences kinesthetically, sensations that are or seem to be physical. Pay attention to your body and feel subtle sensations. These sensations might feel like motion, rising and falling, rocking, sliding, and tipping. You may feel electric sensations, tingling, or vibrations. Perhaps you might feel twitches, pulsing, pressure, or changes in temperature. Ask, how does my foot feel? Rather than, is my foot relaxed? Those feelings may change and shift, come and go, creating subtle patterns which are beautiful in and of themselves. And like the surf, never assume that the frailty of its foam is a measure of the ocean's power. So, in our language, our concepts are deeply tied to the visual. We honor men and women of vision and high-value insight. Do you see what we mean, right? Visual means of perception are important. At the same time, visual perception is often overemphasized and considered essential to the control and use of energy. It's not necessarily so. One can get caught up in the entertainment value of the visual, and the endless fascination of unfolding visualization can bind us to other kinds of perception. Visualization can be incredibly meaningful. However, an attachment to them can become a major block to other perceptual cues. An auditory perception may manifest as verbal messages, voices, or impressions of voices. It may also occur as sounds such as static, buzzing, pops and clicks, tones, or even music. These perceptions have a delicacy, a quality difficult to convey in physical waking consciousness, consciousness 1 or C1 terms. Too often, we close such beautiful channels that are open to us by discounting our impression as unreal rather than allowing them to be legitimate. Gateway participants often report intuitive perceptions, a sudden awareness, a gestalt, whole knowing, or thought ball, as one person delightfully describes it. This is what I need you to understand. A thought ball, right? Too often, gateway participants often report intuitive perceptions, a sudden awareness, a gestalt, a whole knowing, or a thought ball, as one person delightfully described it. There are no right or wrong ways to experience these exercises. Whatever your methods of perception, getting deeply into yourself you will be able to appreciate more of that which is around you. Value and build on your uniqueness and its wholeness and unity. Okay? Now, before we go into this, right, I am going to take a break to check on my son, and I'm also going to give you guys a view of a video that I did before about the Monroe Institute and Bob Monroe, as well as the out-of-body experience. Okay, so buckle your seatbelts for some real, conspiracy theory stuff, right? It's gonna get wild. It's gonna get weird. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. All right, and enjoy. Hi, this is Devin Lockett once again at the BiomedRx Health Center with another holistic health tip, or maybe this is another lifestyle enhancement tip. I'm not sure what it is, but I wanted to introduce you to the concept of binaural beats.
Before I get into an explanation of what binaural beats are, I would like to give you just a little bit of information about how the ears work and how the brain works. We see in stereo and we also hear in stereo. Sometimes if you're standing on a street, for example, and a car would come driving by, you would hear the horn. You know, if someone honked the horn while you were walking down the street or standing on the street, you would hear ba, ba, right? The tone, right? The tone would go down, right, as the car was driving away. Now, you know that was one sound. You know that occurred in one sound, that it was one horn. And the change in tone was because the sound waves were reaching you at increasingly longer periods of time. So that kind of stretched the sound out, so to speak, and made the tone appear like it was going down. But your brain knows, your mind knows that what you heard was one sound. This is a survival mechanism, right? We hear in stereo. So when you hear two sounds in either ear that are very close in tone, very close in frequency, the brain has a tendency to try to merge those sounds. Like I said, this is a survival mechanism, part of being a human being. The brain has a tendency to try to merge those two sounds into one. And what you may hear at first is a wavering tone, like woo, 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 kind of like a siren sound. That attempt in your mind to merge those two tones into one is called a binaural beat. Now, binaural beats were discovered, I guess you could say, or invented by Mr. Bob Monroe. Bob Monroe, unfortunately, passed away in 1996. He's no longer with us. But he is credited as the inventor of binaural beats and probably the chief pioneer in experimentation and working with binaural beats. You can find a link to the YouTube page for the Monroe Institute right here. I do recommend that you go to the Monroe Institute YouTube page and view the videos from Bob Monroe. Bob Monroe did this research which led to the discovery of binaural beat technology for the United States government. And in this process, he developed combinations of binaural beats that can entrain the brain to do any particular job or sport very well. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. First, I want to go into brain entrainment and neural feedback and brain frequency so that you can kind of get a little bit of background of what's going on here. Now, here at the BiomedRx Health Center, we do a lot of brain training. We do a lot of training of the cerebral cortex. This is part of our peak performance training as well as therapy that we provide to people on the autism spectrum or suffering from anxiety, stress, depression, ADD, ADHD, post-traumatic stress disorder, bruxism, insomnia, addiction, alcoholism, and many other neurological conditions. Now, in the practice of neural feedback, right, we focus on the different brainwave frequency bands and their respective effects on human cognition and human behavior. For example, from 0 hertz to 5 hertz is considered the delta range. Delta is when you're in deep sleep. So we can do neural feedback and train you in delta and get you nice and sleepy, and you'll sleep very well. From 6, 7, 8, around 9 hertz in that area is theta. Theta is associated with light sleep or dream sleep or REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. In this zone, you can access the subconscious mind. You can also access and process repressed memories and repressed emotions. Above theta, we have the alpha zone. Alpha zone is pretty much where I am right now and where most people are at most of the time. The alpha zone is around 9, 10, 11, maybe 12 hertz. In this zone, a person is awake and relaxed and basically happy. That's what we call the yummy zone. Above 9 hertz, above say 12 hertz or so, around 20 hertz, we will get into the beta zone. Okay, beta is the mind state that you're in when you are paying attention, listening to a speech. Like right now, you're listening to me, you're learning from me. So if you're paying attention, your mind is operating at around 20 hertz. Your mind is in beta. If you are In high beta, around 25 hertz, that's around the frequency band that you are in if you're trying to solve a math problem or if you're really intensely thinking about something. Most people, when they're driving, they bounce back and forth from beta to high beta because of all of the attention that is required in so many different areas, spatially, linearly, movement, right? All of the different things that are going on during the process of driving an automobile. It keeps you between 20 to 25 hertz or maybe even higher in the beta or the high beta zone. Now, 30 hertz and above is called the gamma frequency zone. In the gamma frequency zone, you are basically, gamma is considered the unifying frequency zone. With every increase in frequency, there is a corresponding increase in physical tension. For example, if you were to train in the delta zone, you would be physically relaxed to the point of being sleepy. If you were to train in the theta zone, it would be great for hypnosis or self-hypnosis because you would be accessing that theta zone, right? Or what we call the alpha theta state, where you're bringing the subconscious to the conscious mind, or you're able to access the subconscious via your conscious mind. In the alpha zone, that's pretty much putting you in the happy zone or the yummy zone. A lot of people train in alpha. It's a little bit challenging at first to find their optimal reward frequency, but everyone does have an optimal reward frequency to train themselves into the happy zone. Some people come to me saying, well, they want to study for a test, or they have a very intensive seminar or something coming up, something that's requiring a lot of their cognitive abilities, and they want me to train them at 25 hertz. They want me to train them in the high beta zone. I can do that. The problem with that is that after you've had your test, your ASVAB, or your LSAT, or whatever it is that you were preparing yourself for with high beta training, then you're going to feel like you've had a little bit too much coffee, and you're going to want to relax and get out of that state of cortical arousal. The funny thing about the gamma zone is that although there is a corresponding raising of physical arousal in the delta, theta, alpha, beta, and high beta states, when you get to the gamma zone, there's a little bit of a divergence. The brain starts moving super fast, and the body starts being very relaxed. So when you're in the gamma zone, you're actually in what is like an intense meditative state where, you know, your body is very relaxed, but the brain is moving very, very quickly. Now, this is known as the unifying frequency. This is known as the zone of problem solving, conflict resolution, bringing the mind and the body and the spirit together. Gamma is really good. Gamma is the area where I train every day. Now, with binaural beats, it's a little bit different than neurofeedback, because neurofeedback is a process of training the brain to access these states on its own. And with binaural beats, we are actually entraining the brain. Okay, if I were, for example, to play a 400 hertz tone into your left ear and a 410 hertz tone into the right ear simultaneously, the first thing you're going to hear, well, you're going to hear the two different tones separately, and then very soon after that, you're going to hear a wavering tone, like a police siren, woo, 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 like that, right? That's the binaural beat. It is the difference between the 400 hertz and the 410 hertz tones, which is 10 hertz, and that 10 hertz is produced inside the brain as an electrical signal, not as a sound, but as an electrical signal. And in this method, with this method, binaural beats, we are able to put the brain into an alpha state. If we were playing two tones that were 7 hertz apart, you would be able to induce a theta state. If we were able to introduce two tones in the left and right ear that were 5 hertz apart, you would be inducing a delta state. and so on. So binaural beats are very good for training the brain into certain states. Now, we're going to stop the music here, and I'm going to play a binaural beat sound cocktail that I put together specifically for this video. That's what you're hearing right now. So the best thing that you can do, or the best way to enjoy this video, is to put on a pair of headphones, okay? Enjoy this video with a pair of headphones on so that you can understand exactly firsthand how binaural beats are. In fact, if you just look up the term binaural beats here on YouTube, you will find a number of beats that are created by a lot of people to induce a state of lucid dreaming. If you want to, have control over your dreams when you go to sleep, there are binaural beats that imitate the effect of any drug, marijuana, cocaine, heroin, believe it or not. So I don't really condone or suggest that you experiment with those, because I don't really know how you turn it off, right? I mean, if you induce a state of a heroin buzz or whatever with binaural beats, how do you turn that off? I guess you try to get a good night's sleep or something, and I'm not really sure how that would work. But those binaural beats are available online. Now, the serious work that was done by Bob Monroe actually enabled people to not only cope with anxiety, stress, depression. There are binaural beats that deal with getting over alcoholism or addiction or ADD, ADHD, or even coping with autism. Before I discovered neurofeedback, I actually did have a certain amount of success with binaural beats on my son in fighting the symptoms of autism spectrum disorder. Now, Bob Monroe was actually able to create different cocktails of binaural beats that enabled the listener to be proficient at specific jobs, not just proficient at work, but proficient at specific jobs. Okay, so we've gone from being able to train the brain into an alpha state or a delta state or a theta state or a gamma state to being able to combine binaural beats together in order to make a person proficient at a particular job. He also created cocktails of binaural beats that would make a person proficient at playing any particular sport, not just sports in general, but boxing or golf or swimming or tennis or football or water polo, any particular sport. Although he is no longer with us, Bob Monroe was the king of binaural beat technology. Now, Bob Monroe and the Monroe Institute also developed a series of binaural beats that actually enabled people to have out-of-body experiences. I know this is hard to believe, but you can actually induce an out-of-body experience using binaural beats. If you watch the videos on the Monroe Institute's YouTube page, you'll find Wednesdays with Bob Monroe, where he actually talks about, in depth, the experience of leaving his body and familiarizing himself with, I guess, what you might call the afterlife, or the process of human beings dying and their souls leaving the earth, and human beings waiting to come back to the earth. I think Bob would probably be better at explaining that than me, so I think it would be best if you just looked at the videos on the Monroe Institute. Now, if you would like to participate in experimentation here at the BiomedRx Health Center, or what we call the BiomedRx Institute, in the out-of-body experience, then I suggest you send an email to info@biomedrx.tv expressing your interest. You have to live here in Southern California, and someone from the Institute will get back with you. Here at the BiomedRx Health Center, we combine binaural beats with neurofeedback, audio-visual brain entrainment, cranial electrotherapy stimulation, and the other brain training techniques to help people accomplish a state of peak performance, to get peak performance out of their mind and out of their brain and out of their bodies, and to help people become peak performers in their professional careers or their athletic athletic careers or their academic careers or whatever it is that they would like to pursue in life. This is just something that you can use at home. All you need at home to experiment with binaural beats is a good set of headphones. If you've got some stereo headphones, feel free to just do a search for binaural beats here on YouTube, and you will find a number of videos. Like I said, you can experiment with the drug beats. I don't recommend it, but if you wanted to put yourself into a nice self-hypnotic state, or sleep, or meditation, or to relax yourself, to get rid of anxiety, stress, depression, you can induce
Get those likes up.
lucid dreams if you wanted to go to sleep and have control over your dream state. There are a lot of things that you can do with binaural beats. It's a cool way to train yourself. We've also got audio files from the Monroe Institute, and but I would suggest you contact the Monroe Institute if you wanted to get official files from them and also to participate in their programs. There are a lot of people who visit the Monroe Institute every year to have what is called the Gateway Experience, and this is where people attempt to have an out-of-body experience. The Monroe Institute has been able to perfect the OOB, or the out-of-body experience, using binaural beats to the point that it complies with the scientific method. It is repeatable, and it's something that you can do and bring witnesses along with you. So I know that sounds pretty strange, and it sounds like Twilight Zone science, but here at the BiomedRx Institute, sometimes we get off into the Twilight Zone science. Well, that's all I have to say about binaural beats. I just wanted to introduce you to binaural beats and to give you an opportunity to do your own searching here on YouTube. YouTube is a great place to find a lot of binaural beats, and there are a few binaural beat generator websites that you can go to where you can generate your own binaural beats and kind of blend them with each other and experiment with different cocktails. But I highly recommend checking them out. And as you can see here, if you listen to this video long enough, you're going to find that you're getting into a more relaxed state, right? And hopefully you're receptive to the things that I'm saying and to the messages that I'm giving you right here. But binaural beats do definitely work, and it is a very effective brain training technology. Well, that's all I have to say about binaural beats for this video. If you like this video, please remember to hit like and comment and share and subscribe to BiomedRx TV and to Devin Lockett here on Facebook. If you are interested in the brain training or any of the other therapies that we do here at the BiomedRx Health Center, we are here in Southern California to help you. And if you would like to have access to videos that are not here on the public display on YouTube, or if you would like to just provide us with some financial support so that we can continue making these great videos, feel free to become a patron on Patreon at patreon.com/BiomedRxTV and patreon.com/Devin Lockett. And as always, I would like everyone to stay kind, because kind is the new sexy. Stay blessed and stay healthy. Thank you for watching BiomedRx TV.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'm not going to make you guys sit through all of this. I appreciate it. Now, we're back here. We're going to talk about the different waves, okay? Right now, I'm going through all of the waves together, but I'm going to deal with the waves separately and according to the program. You're supposed to break through one and then move to the next one. Wave one is discovery. The gateway experience is a means to your self-discovery, a gateway to your choice of an ideal or destination. The ultimate goal of the gateway experience is for you to no longer need the tapes. They are like training wheels of a bicycle, wonderful for practice, but inhibiting as you learn to ride far and free. Your journey begins with the Discovery album. You will learn through direct experience, discovering that words and theories are only one way to obtain knowledge. This is the most important thing. This is how you receive the thought bubble. As a result, you perform these exercises. As you perform these exercises, Your experiences will take you beyond what you think or what you have read to what you know. You're going to feel a profound sense of comfort with your level of knowledge, comfort within yourself, okay? There may be times when you click out of the exercise, especially as you begin to move up to and beyond your level of experience. Clicking out is different from falling asleep. There is a sense of having dropped out of the exercise. Upon returning to or finishing the exercise, there is no perception of time having passed. You will have stored the memory of your experience, but you will have no immediate recall. Clicking out is a common, frequently reported experience. As you learn to cooperate with your own inner direction, the paradoxical nature of the gateway itself emerges. Your desire to explore intensifies as you become more willing to release any attachment to results. Expectations limit the unknown by what you know. Any conflict between doing something and being there, or between active and passive states, is resolved in focus 10. Doing and being merge, triggering what we call synchronicity, or synergism between thought and action, between imagination and reality, between self and universe. In Focus 10, the serious and playful aspects of self-discovery also merge. Effort and fun are no longer in conflict. You enter a flow. Burdens become light. So seriously, have fun. This is the truth. This is the truth. This is something that is a result of, from what I'm experiencing after only 2 or 3 days of the experience, of the gateway experience. I got to remind you that the quality of your headphones is very important. So I would suggest, I thought I had my box around here. I would suggest that you purchase yourself a nice pair of Bose 700s. Okay, these are my headphones, the Bose 700s. All right, this is probably the most expensive headphone you can buy, and but it is definitely the best pair of headphones I've ever used in my life, and I highly recommend to everyone to get yourself a pair of Bose 700s, and that will produce the quality of sound that you need in order to get the full benefit of the Gateway experience from the Monroe Institute. Okay? Tape taking recommendations: locate a distraction-free environment where you can darken the room and remain undisturbed during the 30 to 45 minute taped exercises. Make sure you will not be interrupted by the phone. However, if you do experience noise such as dogs barking, street repairs, children playing, simply note the distraction and use it to go deeper into your experience. For example, each time you hear a dog bark, tell yourself you are settling deeper within yourself and that the noise is allowing you to explore further and further. Allow at least 1 hour after eating and avoid alcohol, drugs, or excessive caffeine, which may limit the effectiveness of the Hemisync exercises. Get comfortable. Use the bathroom before each exercise, even if it seems unnecessary. Loosen any tight clothing and remove shoes and glasses or contacts. Listen to the tapes while lying down or in a seated position with your head supported, whichever is more comfortable for you. Shift positions as necessary, both before and during exercise. If you itch during an exercise, scratch. You will be able to move gently back to your pattern of relaxation. There can be a metabolic drop as you enter an exercise, producing a coolness or chill which can quickly change to a perception of heat, motion, or pressure. Have a loose blanket or cover handy, ready to pull up or throw off as needed. You may wish to keep a journal or document the details of your experiences as date, time, body position, medication or unusual diet, mood, attitude, energy level, moon phase, or any other unusual circumstances. Do not use the Gateway experience while driving. Okay, we're not going to get into cassette problems because that's from a different era and time. Discovery. Number 1, orientation. The tools, exercises, and experiences you will discover in each tape A discovery album builds upon the tools, exercises, and experiences of the previous tape. Indeed, each tape and album in the Gateway experience builds upon the same features of the previous tapes and albums. The more intimate and proficient you become with each tape, the more you will be able to explore and master the next tape or album. By carefully and patiently using discovery, you will build a solid foundation within you that will enable you to get the most out of this in-home training system. It is also recommended that you perform each exercise as instructed at least the first time you listen to it. Then you may choose to innovate and do something else. Let your experience during the tape guide you. Stay open to change and flow with your experience. Do not force anything. If you're curious about the content of each tape, you may first listen to it objectively or over speakers. In discovery, repetition of tapes is advancement. Each time you listen to a tape, you become stronger, clearer, and more masterful with it. Return to basic tapes for reinforcement. Doing so will deepen your experiences and is strongly recommended. Various tools are developed in discovery to create bridging as one begins to detect and focus the strong energies we call non-physical. These are often perceived as electrical or vibratory sensations, as well as motion, heat, or pressure. These energies can flow and focus and can, depending on your choice, influence physical reality. To use these tapes effectively, please familiarize yourself with the tape-taking recommendations on page 17. The following sections refer directly to processes on this tape. Hemisync. You know, I'm going to pause here because I don't want to bore you guys to death. And we're going to pick up on Hemisync later, okay? But I just want you to understand that we have this here. I don't want to get into any conflict with, you know, the whole copyright issue thing. So I can't really just read this whole thing, right? But we'll break it up. We'll break it up into different areas. I just want you to understand that this is real, that the Monroe Institute put together a very powerful system for self-discovery, and it is using not words, not hypnosis, but frequency of sound. Frequency of sound designed to expand your consciousness and to expand your awareness. And that aspect of the Gateway experience is worthwhile in and of itself. And this is a fact. This is a fact that cannot be denied. So wonderful. I want to thank you guys for joining me. Things are going pretty good right now. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of your patience and participation in this with me. I'm going to be talking about my personal experiences with the Gateway experience as time goes on. I'm going to be giving daily briefings on this channel as well as on the BiomedRx channel, as well as on the Devin Lockett channels. I highly recommend you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications and whatnot, all of that good stuff. Comment, like, share, yeah, so, you know, do the best you can. Yeah, I think that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Need you guys to go ahead on and hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, right? Do all of that. You know I'm the one doing all of the conspiracy theory stuff, all of the mysterious stuff. So keep that in mind, okay? And yeah, thank Tomorrow, we're going to be going live again every day at the same bat time and the same bat channel. I'm feeling very good. I'm feeling very blessed, and I'm feeling very whole, and I really appreciate everybody being here for this. Remember to stay kind, because kind is the only sexy. Stay blessed and stay healthy. We are going to continue on our quest for out-of-body experiences using the gateway method on future videos. All right? I want you guys to have a wonderful evening.